You ask the question, the Padres, the clubhouse, and this whole storyline, does it kill their playoff hope? No, because they got Juan Soto and they got Josh Bell. But it really damages them because they thought that with El Nino back in the lineup, even though it might have taken him some time to start to hit, that the Padres would propel themselves back into the fight for the first wild card spot. They are not going to catch the Dodgers, but they need to catch Atlanta because, as we talked about on one of our earlier podcasts, John, they have to finish first in the wild card race to play at home. If they don't finish first, that means the best of three series might well be in Atlanta. And by the way, when you look at the standings as we march through this great sports weekend, you got the Cardinals and you got the Phillies, and now you got the Padres. They're all fighting for the scraps on the table to see who winds up playing Atlanta in a wild card game and who has to go play the other division winner. And even if the Padres were to beat the first wild card team in a playoff, Atlanta, they got to go back to Dodger Stadium for the second round, and we know what that track record is. It doesn't kill the Padres, but it damages their ability, I think, to chase down the first wild card spot. Atlanta's got more wins than the Padres have right now. Phillies and Cardinals are right there in the mix. Milwaukee's knocking at the door. So we've got a dogfight for the final 40 games of the season. They don't have El Nino to be in the middle of a batting order that would have been unbelievable with Manny Machado, with Juan Soto, with Josh Bell. Maybe all that would have led to the reemergence. They would have caught Will Myers on fire. Maybe it would have changed Cronenworth into the second half of the final third of the baseball season. So I think it damages their ability to go chase down the team that's in first place. So, I mean, we have so many different check marks that we can talk about. That's what was a great week, and it's not again relates to the top. Will tell you the Bulls on the East Coast are just skewering El Nino. The criticism and columns, unbelievable. The story, and because it's such a big final for his background, the thing that he's.
I think we're all there's more to this story. Behind closed doors, there's a lot of details, facts that are not being disclosed to the general public. Will those leak? We're all anxious to find out because what happened was just inexplicable.
Decision making, maturity, honesty, all those things that A.J. Preller mentioned, standing in that tunnel in front of that clubhouse door before it was formally announced. Big things. He's got a lot of work to do to rebuild his credibility in baseball. A lot of work to do, I think, to rebuild the credibility in front of the Padre fans. And I'll tell you what, in a closing comment, John, if they don't make the playoffs, it won't be just because of fatigue pitching. It won't be because somebody got hurt. If the Padres don't make the playoffs after having been a half game out of first place and now 16 games back, they don't make the playoffs, Fernando Tatis takes some of the blame for that because he could have been a difference maker.
No, I agree completely. Well, this is awesome, Lee. We're doing this emergency podcast. You know, this is hot breaking news. So it's great to have you here again.
Well, we'll be back towards the end of the week with our next podcast, and we hope you'll join us. At the same time, I hope you'll check my website, One Man's Opinion column coming up on Monday, which you may agree or you may disagree with. It'll be on the El Nino situation with the Friars. Check my website, leehacksawhamilton.com. Thanks to John Riley's project for being part of our podcast today. Have yourself a great sports weekend.